Enemies picked up the pigeon.
Just realized I've never actually gotten like any sort of video of me getting a kill.
Enemies picked up the pigeon. Enemies picked up the pigeon.
That's one. That's literally the first time I've ever gotten like the actual on-screen kill with it.
The enemy has released the enemy has lost the pigeon.
And there's a reason why I don't. There's a reason why I don't use this.
A pigeon has been located.
Because I suck.
Je lance une grenade! Attention!
Enemies picked up the pigeon.
Je vais soigner ça.
I seriously need to get AudioCraft to start coming over. Like, start like getting his butt over here more often.
Mitrailleuse ennemie, par là!
The enemy has released the pigeon. The pigeon has delivered the enemy's message. Enemies only have one more pigeon to deliver.
T'es blessé, je vais t'aider.
The first time I ever saw a picture of Elena Siegman, I actually thought in my head, dear God, what is that? And that's why I don't use this thing.
Enemies picked up the pigeon. We have picked up the pigeon.
J'ai un point d'avertissement.
I mean, seriously, as inaccurate as this thing is, you'd actually have a better chance of getting a kill if you literally just try to pull a Nikolai and use your breath.
Grenade lancée! Tirez-vous!
Enemies picked up the pigeon.
Yeah, he needs to play these maps. He needs to play like the They Shall Not Pass map. Because I need someone to translate this stuff for me. I don't speak French.
We have released the pigeon. We have lost the pigeon.
I speak English and Spanish and a little bit of Latin. Oh, and some Italian. A little bit of that thrown in there.
T'es blessé? Je vais te soigner.
A pigeon has been located.
And then you got
We have picked up the pigeon.
a little bit of
Enemies picked up the pigeon.
there's a little bit of Russian, a little bit of I know about 3,000-4,000 words in Spanish, but
The enemy has released the pigeon. The pigeon has delivered the enemy's message.
prize the whore. Yes, I'm doing that map. You remember like back in the day when I would actually do the I'd actually like do the ear rape iDubbbz content cop theme? Hey Google, iDubbbz content cop theme ear rape. Let's see what comes up. Yes, search the web. Yeah, this'll work. You guys are really starting to hate me, aren't you?
A pigeon has been located.
Think about it. There's
Enemies picked up the pigeon.
And did you hear, like, now AudioCraft's out for a few months?
We have picked up the pigeon.
He says he's gonna be out for a few months because he apparently forgot how to actually wrestle. So he had to try to win a they had to try to beat him, like he had to try to beat Serve Riot Trusta in a 2-on-1 handicap match. Yeah, how'd that go for him? I told him that I was.
We have picked up the pigeon.
I told him that I would still be able to actually wrestle. I'd be able to wrestle that match and a 60-man Iron Man match with
You got time?
Enemies picked up the
Robert.
pigeon.
I'd have absolutely no problem doing that. And he figured, oh, if he does this, then his bones will literally explode.
Throwing a grenade!
We have picked up the pigeon.
I admire the fact that he's actually looking out for me like that, but still.
We have released the pigeon.
Come here, need fixing up!
The pigeon has delivered our message.
I think I can handle myself just fine. So, yeah, he is injured, so he's not going to be back until
A pigeon has been
at least
located.
WrestleMania 35. There's no way he's going to be back before then.
Enemies picked up the pigeon. The enemy has released the pigeon.
And we might end up
enemy has
seeing
lost the
something
pigeon.
that we haven't seen since Christmas.
A pigeon has been located.
There's a very, very small chance
We have picked up the pigeon.
that I might end up joining forces with Radical Gaming Nerd. Because back on the independent circuit, like all the way back over there in New Japan Pro Wrestling before I came into the WWE, I was with
We have picked
Throw
up the
grenade, watch
pigeon.
it!
Radical Gaming Nerd, who was Optic Army Gaming, who was actually Jonathan Gaming at the time. This was back in the day, but him and I were a tag team.
Enemies picked up the pigeon.
Shit, it's gas!
And we were actually pretty good. This was like
Slinging grenade!
Jackson would only wrestle Ring of Honor. Danny would only wrestle New Japan. So
Enemies picked up the pigeon.
me, Jonathan, and Danny were actually the IWGP six-man tag team champions, or was it the Never Open
We
Weight
have picked up the
six-man
pigeon.
tag champs? I don't remember. Hang on.
Enemies picked up the pigeon. We have picked up the pigeon.
Yeah, it's the never over. It's the never open wait. Tag Team Championship. Yeah, we actually held on to that thing. We held on to that sucker for a long time.
The pigeon has delivered our message. We need to deliver one more pigeon.
For a reason, Nate
A pigeon has been
comes in.
located.
Him and I start a feud. All four of us, oh, three of us get sent over to me,
We have picked up the pigeon.
Nate, and Jonathan we all get sent over to WWE. We're all in the,
Let me patch your wounds.
we're all in developmental. And the feud between me and Audiocraft from New Japan boils over into WWE. So, for whatever reason, through an open challenge, Audiocraft picks up the NXT Championship from
We have released the pigeon.
then champion Finn Balor.
The pigeon has delivered our message.
So
Throwing grenade. Watch it.
he holds onto it until NXT TakeOver Saginaw, where I pick up the belt. And I hold onto it for about a year until Sami Zayn comes along. And pins me for the belt, and he pins me for the belt at TakeOver Chicago. Nah, I'm just kidding. It's not a TakeOver Chicago. It's at the very first TakeOver Brooklyn. About a year later at TakeOver Brooklyn 2, I end up winning. Actually, no. It's a couple months, 6 months actually, after TakeOver Brooklyn at NXT TakeOver Pontiac, where I pick up the belt again. And I lose it to Samoa Joe. Then Nakamura wins it, then Joe wins it, then Nakamura. Then Rude, I believe. Then McIntyre.
A pigeon has been located.
Was gibt's Neues? Ich schick dir eine Granate.
Then Almas.
Ich krieg dich wieder hin.
black, then
We have picked up the pigeon.
now
Hier,
Champa.
erste Hilfe.
Und nicht heraus! Diese
We have picked up the pigeon.
Yeah, at some point,
Enemies picked up
Yeah.
the pigeon.
it's like at the same time we're sent over to developmental. Never-ending Riot's sent over to only compete for Ring of Honor. That's where he meets. That's where he meets up with Drift, and they become an unstoppable force here in America with Ring of Honor.
We have picked up the pigeon. We have picked up the pigeon. We have released the pigeon. We have lost the pigeon. A pigeon has been located.
Oh crap.
Ich werf eine Granate, aufpassen!
Yeah, you guys see the Little League World Series? That was a
We
good
have
match.
picked up the pigeon.
That was a good game.
Erste Hilfe, nimm schon!
Enemies picked up the pigeon.
At
We
some
have
point,
picked up the pigeon.
Rainbow Ross
Hier, erste Hilfe!
and Mason Job who are healed are in a tag team match
Ich sehe mir die Wunde an.
between me and me. It's those two and Nate versus me, Jonathan, and
Fest raus, Kämpfe runter!
The pigeon. The pigeon has delivered our message.
who was it? Sam Fisher. So after the match,
The pigeon has been located.
later that night, Jonathan's cutting a promo. They run out and they
Enemies picked up the pigeon.
Hier ist eine Granate!
They tell me to get out there. Then they grab me. They threaten to break my neck if he doesn't either super kick me. Hit me with a spine buster. So he has no choice but to super kick me. And at that point he decides to join the Shield API. Then, like right before I get called up to the main roster, Jonathan gets sold out by Randall Ross and Mason Joss. And then after that, Randall Ross sells out Mason Joss. Shield API's gone. They come back for one match. They come back for like one, maybe two matches. Have a super quick run with the. They have a super quick title run with the YouTube tag titles. But when I come up, the first thing I do is I challenge Sam Fisher for a championship. Problem was, I didn't realize Sam Fisher didn't have a championship. So Triple H decides he's going to create the YouTube Championship. And we would have a match to decide who would win that belt. And I, of course, ended up winning that match. One of the best days of my life, other than winning the, well, actually, yeah, it was the best day of my life. Second best day was the day I won the NXT Championship at TakeOver Saginaw.
The enemy has released the pigeon. The pigeon has delivered the enemy's message.
Yeah, then I bring Audiocraft up to the main roster.
A pigeon has been located.
They make the YouTube Tag Team Championship to
Enemies
go
picked
along
up
with
the
the
pigeon.
YouTube Championship. Somehow, Nate and I get a match
Picked
against
up the pigeon.
Serve Riot Trusta for the YouTube Tag Team Championship. And of course we keep winning. Then he gets sidelined with an injury.
Granate ist raus, hol zu!
Around early.
Ich sehe mir die Wunde mal an.
Around like early February or late January, somewhere around there.
Erste Hilfe, greif zu, Mann!
He's supposed to be out for 3 months.
Enemies
He comes
picked up
back
the pigeon.
a little while later, and
Enemies picked up the pigeon.
Granate raus!
helps me win that match. Like, he's the mystery partner in that match.
We have picked
Eight-man
up.
tag. Then we start the qualifying matches for the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view.
Enemies picked
He
up the
wins.
pigeon.
He's the first. Technically the
Enemies
second
picked up the
entrant
pigeon.
because it was for the YouTube Championship. Now, prior to that, he had actually had a good run as actually it wasn't really all that good. It was okay, I guess. But like there was like creative really didn't have much going for him. So like he dropped the belt real quick in a triple threat between me, him, and Randall Ross.
We have picked up the pigeon.
Yeah, the one thing that, like, think about it, the one thing that Mason Joss wanted more than anything else was to win the YouTube Championship before he retired. Now because of the serious neck injury from the match with Julian at SummerSlam, he had to retire, so he will never. Heck, I would have vacated the belt just
We
to give
have
him
picked
a
up
title
the
shot.
pigeon.
If I would have known that before he retired.
Ich werfe eine Granate.
We have picked up the pigeon.
Du bist verletzt, ich sehe mir das an. Sanitäter, bin getroffen!
Yeah, like, I freaking,
Enemies picked up the pigeon.
I can't believe that Randall Ross is an 11-time YouTube champion. I mean, I'm a 13-time YouTube champion, but that's me. Mainly because I vacated the belt before, I've put it up in open challenges, lost it, won it back.
We have picked up the pigeon.
And plus, we had a very good rivalry where the belt changed hands multiple times.
We have released the pigeon.
As of right now, there's going to be a triple threat match for the YouTube Championship at Hell in a Cell.
A pigeon has been located. Enemies picked up the pigeon.
And he's gonna have to, as Kenny Omega says that at some point he's gonna become the YouTube champion before the year's over. So what Paige did was she made him have to go through
We have picked up
a
the
gauntlet in the main event of tomorrow night's SmackDown Live.
Vorsicht, Jungs, ich werfe eine Granate.
Actually, no, that's going to be the show opener. If he can beat all three of the participants, then it's going to become
Enemies
a fatal
picked up the
four-way. So that's going to be a good match.
pigeon. Enemy has released the pigeon.
I believe that one's going to be an
The
Iron
pigeon
Man
has
match as
delivered
well.
the enemy's message.
Fatal four-way Iron Man.
Enemies only have one more pigeon to deliver. A pigeon has been located.
mal ansehen?
Yeah, that's gonna be a pretty good match. So.
The enemy has released. The enemy has lost
Yeah.
the pigeon.